Democrats have officially gone off the rails with drunk videos and body cam footage. I know, guys. So the latest, a drunk-looking Kamala Harris released a bizarre first statement after her devastating loss to President-elect Donald Trump. Experts and online commentators alike are all saying that she looks tipsy and even outright drunk. Check it out.
Commentators are voicing their concern for Kamala Harris today after the DNC released a video of the vice president addressing her supporters for the first time since her humiliating defeat to Donald Trump.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
Online commentators immediately reacted to the bizarre statement, with this person saying, Kamala Harris has released her first video since the election and she sounds like a drunk girl hyping me up in the women's restroom. This commentator doubled down with this hilarious tweet. Whoa, I am calling for an immediate investigation into Kamala Harris for Russia collusion. My sources say she has consumed all of their vodka. And this commentator has echoed the same criticism of Kamala we all voiced during the election campaign, that she talks but says nothing at all. Is Kamala Harris drunk? The Democrats just released this video of Kamala Harris sending an urgent reminder to her followers to keep fighting. It's kind of funny, she's trying to sound inspiring but ends up saying absolutely nothing.
Democrats, you guys, they just can't seem to help themselves. Then, of course, there's this newly released body cam footage of what people are calling a crazy narcissistic Democrat in Illinois. Now, I'm not one to judge, but I will say this. She made it 100 times worse with her smug attitude. Watch.
If you don't exit the vehicle, I'm going to help you to exit. And you don't want that.
You don't want that.
I do.
I'm an elected official.
I actually do. Elected official of what?
Cook County.
Cook County. You elected which office? What's your name?
I'm Sam.
Sam who? Okay.
It's fine.
Now you can hang up the phone, ma'am.
No.
We're still doing our
My
investigation.
attorney.
Okay. Now, tell your attorney, since he's on the phone, are you going to do field sobriety test or no?
No.
Okay.
No,
Are you being arrested? You say no. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. We're waiting for that. Because she just refused. I asked her to do field sobriety test and she refused. And she smelled like alcohol. She's been drinking. So you've been recorded all this time.
What do you think, guys? Because this video has already gone viral and people are calling for her to be fired and lose all benefits. Others comment on how all these Democrats seem to just think that they're above the law. Remember Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, blew through a stop sign drunk and crashed into another car? Yeah. That barely got a blip on mainstream media. They say LA police covered the entire investigation up. Witnesses even said that there was a female passenger that police allowed to just walk away without even interviewing. But do they talk about it? Nah. Check it out.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, arrested on a DUI charge in Napa, California over the weekend. His car was allegedly hit in the middle of an intersection after he left a dinner party. Joe Concha's with me. All right, Joe, what would the coverage be like if this were a Republican's spouse?
Oh, you mean like what would the coverage look like if Jared Kushner, for example, got a DUI? Or how about Donald Trump Jr., right? What would that coverage look like? It wouldn't be as limited as we're seeing, Stuart, on other networks, that's for sure. And by the way, when you're worth more than $110 million like Paul and Nancy Pelosi, I mean, what? You can't call an Uber Black, that's the good one, or Lyft, or have your own driver named Cheeves, right? You're Paul Pelosi. You're 82 years old, Stuart. You can't take the money with you to the pearly gates or elsewhere, so you might as well spend a couple bucks to protect yourself and others if you decide you want to have a little bit too much Merlot at dinner. But in all seriousness, someone really could have been hurt or killed here. This was a crash, and it was totally preventable. I think the best line here, Stuart, is a quote from Nancy Pelosi's spokesperson. The speaker will not be commenting on this private matter, unquote. Yeah, that's convenient. Thanks.
Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, do Democrats have a drinking problem? What do you guys think about this? Because apparently even doctors questioned if Kamala Harris was tipsy in that bizarre video message. They're saying that she was slurring her words and appeared bleary-eyed. Dr. Carol Lieberman, a psychiatrist who worked with alcoholics, went on record after viewing the video, and she said that she couldn't rule out that Kamala Harris was under the influence. She talked about some concerning signs that she noticed from the VP, kind of like her half-closed eyes, slurred speech, and even overemphasized hand movements. The doctor said that these were all signs that she may have had something to drink. Another one, Dr. Stuart Fisher, an emergency medicine doctor in New York City, added that her head movements also suggested that she had consumed alcohol. The experts said other factors, maybe embarrassment over losing or exhaustion, could also be at play. Another possibility they considered was her body language could have been the result of side effects from an undisclosed medication the VP is taking. One example they gave was sleeping pills. Now, of course, no one can be certain, but is she pill popping? Is she drunk? I mean, like, what's the deal here? Is she on cocaine? I mean, like, what is it? Kamala Harris was at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, California on Tuesday afternoon following a 6-day R&R vacation in Hawaii. Then she appeared in a 13-minute national grassroots call with none other than Tim Walz to thank campaign staff for their work, which was then posted as a 28-second clip on Democrats' official X page. I mean, like, did anybody in the party think twice before posting this video? Or are they just as sick of their own party as the rest of us? Because Dr. Fisher says that she's not royally drunk, but that's definitely the right word, tipsy. And the blinking, oh, the blinking. Dr. Fisher pointed out that Kamala Harris took long pauses between which she closed her eyes. He said this struck him as unusual because a standard blink is only gonna last between 100 and 150 milliseconds. And when people are intoxicated, which Kamala Harris seems to be, they tend to blink less because alcohol acts as a depressant, slowing down nervous system activity, including the natural reflex to blink. Very interesting catch. The doctors also highlighted the moment that Kamala Harris held her hands to her chest for 6 seconds and then leaned back in her chair.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
And you should have seen the comments, you guys. The post on the Democrats page was flooded with comments asking whether Kamala Harris had been drinking. In fact, as Dr. Lieberman pointed out, there are many videos online that are photoshopped to make Kamala Harris look worse, more drunk. But even the way that she looks in the non-photoshopped videos, it shows evidence of possibly being drunk. Meanwhile, her body language experts say it was a failed attempt to come across likable and express honest human emotion. Body language analyst Judy James said, "This is very verbose speech that combines Kamala Harris's talent for the word salad with her signature body language rituals that try to persuade you that you're listening to some extremely profound motivational thoughts and messages." But ultimately, nothing really said. So yeah, this has pretty much been an ongoing theme for the vice president throughout her campaign. Trump 2024 political director James Blair said in August, a lot of rumors out there about Kamala Harris having a serious drinking problem, apparently coming into focus as the campaign heats up. In late September, Kamala Harris was also accused of being drunk at a rally in Atlanta, Georgia, after video was circulated of her appearing to speak slowly. Even her home court Saturday Night Live suggested Kamala Harris had a drinking problem in October after an actress playing the vice president was shown holding and refilling a large glass of red wine. Seriously, guys, what are these people on? Not just Kamala Harris, not just these other Democratic officials, but the people in the room in the party that decided that it was a good idea to post that video for the world to see. Seriously, whatever they're having, maybe we got to get some of that. You know what I mean, guys? Now, of course, I'm just joking, but I think you guys get my point here. Democrats are spiraling now, and I just hope that they don't take too many good, hardworking Americans down with them. You know what I mean, guys? Drop a quick yes in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys are catching my drift in this video. Also, I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. And if you guys want more breaking news like this one sent straight to your phones, definitely have your notification bells turned on. All right, guys, so possibly following in Kamala Harris's footsteps is Illinois Democrat Samantha Steele, the Cook County Board of Review Commissioner, who was caught on newly released body cam footage rolling her eyes and dropping the fact that she is an elected official as Chicago police officers place her under arrest for, drumroll please, drunk driving. You guys saw the clip. She downright said, "You don't want that. I'm an elected official." Now, what I didn't show in that clip was the Democrat stumbling and slurring her words in the body cam footage. Oh, and also her repeatedly asking an officer if his penis was that small. Now, seriously, you can't make this stuff up, guys, but these are Democrats for you guys. Now, it may sound funny, but she was downright reckless when she chose to drive drunk and endanger other people on the road. Because, see, Steele was stopped by police after she apparently drove into another vehicle on a Chicago street. According to the police report, both cars had extensive damage. While Steele's eyes were bloodshot and glassy, she smelled of alcohol. And get this, guys, officers also saw an open bottle of red wine on the passenger side floor of Steele's car, and the commissioner refused to perform sobriety tests. When asked how much she had to drink, Steele said that she wanted her lawyer, and she was not talking to them. They finally arrested her after she complained of a head injury and then was taken to a hospital in an ambulance. She was charged with one misdemeanor count of driving under the influence of alcohol and is due in court on December 27th. So yeah, for those of you in Chicago, pay attention. Steele, who represents the board's District 2, which includes most of Chicago's north side and surrounding suburbs, was first elected to the Board of Review in 2022. You heard the woman. She's an elected official. So for those of you under her jurisdiction, maybe it's time to vote her butt out. Now, when I read stories like this, I remember House Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik's description of the Democratic Party. She called them out for being a cult of corruption. I mean, just look at their lineup of recent charges and convictions that Stefanik listed in her statement. From the former disgraced Governor Cuomo and his henchmen to the communist Chinese who have infiltrated Kathy Hochul, the least popular New York governor in history, to now Eric Adams. The New York City mayor is facing 5 counts, including conspiracy to receive illegal foreign campaign contributions, wire fraud, and bribery, alleging that he accepted lavish travel perks in exchange for smoothing the path for Turkish officials to erect a skyscraper in Manhattan without it passing safety muster. Oh, and let's not forget about former Democratic Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey. He was found guilty on all counts after being tried on charges of accepting bribes, including cash and gold bars to benefit the governments of Egypt and Qatar. Seriously, just more and more proof that Democrats are selling our country for parts. The party has a corruption problem and they just can't keep ignoring it, or worse, trying to point the finger at Republicans. Since 1987, Supreme Court justices appointed by Democrats have mostly agreed on decisions that actually make it harder to legally pin down what counts as corruption. Like this one decision that raised the requirements for an exchange of gifts for services to be considered a bribe, meaning that bribery is tougher to prove, and which is why the first corruption case against Menendez failed back in 2017. And it was the Democratic Party leadership that supported Mr. Menendez in his 2018 primary race despite the first corruption prosecution. Democratic lawmakers even stripped the pretty wide-ranging ethics provisions out of a 2021 political reform bill called the For the People Act, and they even fought against legislation curbing stock trades by members of Congress and their families. Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi insider trading anyone? Now, of course, there's also soon-to-be ex-first son Hunter Biden and his persistent business dealings with a who's who of the corrupt former Soviet Union. Are the Democrats even talking about this? Like, what about liberal mainstream media? Nope, they're all too busy saying all sorts of shiz about President-elect Donald Trump and struggling to prove any of it. Now, like my uncle says, be careful when you point a finger because you're gonna get 3 fingers pointed right back at you. Am I right, guys? Drop a quick yes in the comment section down below, guys, if you guys feel me on this one. We'll definitely circle back on this and other stories of Democratic corruption in a future video. All you need to do is stay subscribed to the channel and keep your notifications turned on so you do not miss our updates when it drops. Well, guys, the great wealth transfer is in full effect. Our freedoms are being stolen, guys. Credit card companies are out to get us. And if you don't understand the game, well, you end up getting played by the game. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, you know, you were probably out of shape, maybe in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and just feeling like the system is just completely taking advantage of you. I remember for a long time, I could rarely ever get any time to spend with my wife. And through trial and error and through a lot of pain, I figured out how to gain freedom and also lose a lot of weight and actually get in shape. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a game changer. To no longer be living paycheck to paycheck, figuring out how to get the credit cards to pay me, the power of a strong credit score. I pay thousands of dollars less per year for the same house as my neighbor just because my credit is better than his is. And this is not to brag. I mean, but this is the truth. The banks are literally taking advantage of the poor. It's like the people who can least afford it, they're charging the poor what is like unofficially called a poor tax, or a tax on the poor. I mean, I'm now at a point where, you know, like, number one, I don't pay for credit cards. In fact, credit card companies pay me to use their cards. And I figured out how to build a lifestyle that is just ultimately very, very healthy. I lost a tremendous amount of weight and I put on a lot of muscle. But when I was struggling, I wish I knew people who knew these things. So anyway, I decided to create a community of like-minded people who are also interested, just like me, in living better. So if you guys want to join my community, it's called the Liberty Pursuit Network. It is brand new. Come on over. I'd love to have you guys and join like-minded people. Be positively motivated by others who are also on the same pursuit. So I'm going to leave a link for you guys so you can join me over on the Life Pursuit Network in the description down below this video. So check it out, guys, and let's not be a victim of this great wealth transfer that is taking place right now. Now, while you guys are waiting on that, you can also check out our other videos on the channel. I just uploaded another one about Stephen A. Smith absolutely raging at Democrats for blowing through over $1 billion and leaving their supporters with a $20 million debt. Another breakdown you do not want to miss, guys. As always, thanks so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. Check out this video that's coming up here, or our playlist section coming up down here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.